Presentation then is the Social Venture Partners of Sacramento 2015 Social Innovation Fast Pitch.
All good. Right. Chop, chop.
Hello, my name is Bree Cahill and I am the Executive Director of Social Venture Partners of Sacramento. Social Venture Partners, SVP, is an international nonprofit network across 40 cities with 3,500 partners worldwide. At SVP Sacramento, we believe every child deserves a quality education. That's why we focus our time and financial investments into nonprofits making a measurable impact on local education. Our partners are engaged corporate and community leaders, leveraging every dollar committed to local nonprofits by using their expertise to expand the capacity of our nonprofit investees. SVP's engagement model is simple and strategic. Vet and select the most impactful nonprofits, then pair our partners with volunteer projects that match their skills and our nonprofits' needs. SVP Fast Pitch, run in 10 other SVP chapters worldwide, is particularly well suited to Sacramento's entrepreneurial spirit and our model of nonprofit capacity building. We vetted over 50 applicants, selecting the top 13 nonprofits to participate. What is Fast Pitch? An 8-week elevator pitch refining process, resulting in 300 plus hours of in-kind coaching support for our nonprofit participants, plus nonprofit pitch videos, theirs to keep for community outreach, and, most importantly, a 3-minute pitch on their organizational impact, condensed today to less than 2 minutes, that will knock your socks off. At our March 6th Fast Pitch event, 10 finalists took the stage, pitching to an audience of 200 for $25,000 in unrestricted funding and in-kind support. And the ripple effect since Fast Pitch has been incredible. $120,000 in follow-on funding as a direct result of the 3-6 pitch, plus opportunities like this one to spread the word region-wide about these impactful nonprofits. SVP is part of the Sacramento 3.0 vision, a city where our nonprofit sector reflects the efficiencies, innovations, and entrepreneurial spirit of the region. Through programs like Fast Pitch, we create meaningful strategic engagements, connecting high-level volunteers with impactful, deserving nonprofits. We need partners like you. Learn more about our work, become an SVP partner, and help us redefine how philanthropists engage with nonprofits. Help us build a stronger, more strategic nonprofit sector for Sacramento 3.0. Thank you to the Council and specifically to Councilmember Jennings for helping us continue the ripple effect from Fast Pitch by inviting us here tonight. Now, welcome our top 3 scoring nonprofits from SVP Fast Pitch 2015.
Thank you, Bree. Thank you, Mayor Johnson. Thank you to the district and the city council members. Thank you, Mr. Jennings. Imagine how 16-year-old Jason Lee must have felt when he successfully pitched his company, iRetron, on the national TV show Shark Tank. iRetron sells and donates used electronics to schools and hospitals, thereby preventing these devices from hitting landfills. Jason is a product of our high school program called SAGE, Students for the Advancement of Global Entrepreneurship, where our mission is to create the next generation of entrepreneurial leaders whose innovations address some of the world's most urgent needs. No other program combines our 3 key components: curriculum, mentoring, and competition. First, our standards-based curriculum helps teens identify and operate real businesses that tackle real problems. Second, we connect our teens to university students who mentor them. Third, we recruit community leaders like you to serve as judges at our competitions. Here, our teens showcase their businesses with written annual reports and live presentations. The end result? Our teens become social change agents. An example from our last world competition was a team from Ireland. They're called Greener Globe Company. They invented and patented a timed shower head that saves the average household 140 gallons of water per week. I founded SAGE in Chico in 2002, and we're now operating across 22 countries and 6 states, but we're not yet in Sacramento. Right now, in California's capital city, there are thousands of teens with big dreams and ideas. But without a program like SAGE, these dreams may die. Our challenge is to connect with Sacramento Unified School District decision makers. I want and will do anything to open any door to any Sacramento high school to take SAGE to Sacramento. Please see me if you have any questions after the meeting. Thank you.
So once upon a time, there was a small grassroots nonprofit called 916 Inc. And what we do is we transform Sacramento students ages 4 to 18 into confident published authors. And we do this by providing free creative writing classes throughout every single district that's represented here. And then we publish those kids into beautiful books. We throw a giant party where they get to hold their book in their hands for the very first time, and they get to read a piece aloud to their friends, their family, their peers, and their teachers. So there was Sahela. Sahela was a third grader that we met at a school in Oak Park, Capitol Heights Academy. She held her newly published book in her hands for the first time and beamed with pride. She took to the stage and read a piece about being bullied to 100 people. Her bullies were in the audience, and everyone applauded. Turn the page. I want you to meet Elston. Elston was a sixth grader that we met at the Colonial Heights Library. At his book release party, he chose to read a beautiful poem about the tragic death of his little brother. It was his mother who came up to me and said, "You have no idea, but that confident young man up there is not the angry kid that I knew 6 months ago. You have saved my son's life." Elston has now been published in the Sacramento News and Review. He's been published in 4 other of our books, and he serves as a volunteer and a mentor, sometimes to students older than him, about how they can write and translate their story into fiction or poetry. Now I want you to meet Adriana. Unfortunately, Adriana is a teen locked up in the maximum security unit at the youth detention facility. Adriana asked our teacher, "How do I write an apology letter to my grandmother when she cannot hear the words, 'I'm sorry,' anymore?" We helped her craft a poem, published it in a beautiful book called Caught Up, sent a copy of it to her grandmother, and began to help them heal that relationship. There's Maggie Giroux, Inderpal Amani, and many more that I could tell you about. But since 2011, 916 Inc. has published 1,600 Sacramento children and youth into over 50 different books that are housed in classrooms, libraries, and sold online. We call ourselves literacy revolution makers. We focused for a long time on reading, which is excellent, but the other critical key component to literacy is writing and communicating. And something magical happens when you are able to harness the power of your own personal story and translate that for an audience, whether it be through a speech or on the page. So how you can help write the next chapter for 916 Inc. is on 9/16 of this year. We are opening the first ever Young Authors Palace at the closed down Maple Elementary School. This is a place where kindergartners through 6th graders can come and take field trips. They will be able to enter in as students and leave as published authors. The place will look like a book, and it will be amazing and the first of its kind. So I'm making Sacramento strong by making our youth strong in their writing and their communication skills, and I need all of your support. Thank you.
You. Good evening, Mayor Johnson, council members. Great to be here. Bill Blake from the B Street Theater. Special thanks to you, Councilmember Jennings, for having us. I'll just say briefly, it's an honor to be serving with, and be even in this ring with these guys and the others who were with us in the pitch competition. It's a great group. Here's my pitch. Picture this. You've come to a theater performance, but instead of walking into a nice room with low lights and tiered seating and comfortable seats, you walk into a big drafty room that looks a lot like a gymnasium. You file in, you're seated on the floor, along with 450 other wriggling, excited audience members. The show starts, but instead of everyone listening attentively, they are whispering and fidgeting. But then, suddenly, they're laughing together out loud. And finally, they're bursting into thunderous applause, totally delighted and engaged. Now multiply that experience by 3 performances per day, 5 days per week, 35 weeks per year, equaling 200,000 kids served annually. This is B Street Theater's school outreach program. At B Street, we don't train students to become scientists or engineers or even entrepreneurs. What we do is spark imagination and curiosity. And we teach kids, all kids from every kind of background, how to express their creativity. And we know we have an impact because every year we get hundreds of short plays submitted to us that have been written by kids. Now imagine, you're back in that gymnasium waiting for that show to start, and you see a hand from the audience come up, and a kid proudly yells out, "That's my play you're doing." That's impact, and that's the impact this program has been having for 30 years. Next year will be our 30th year of doing these programs, so we're so proud of that. And at this point in my pitch, when we actually did it, we asked for $50,000 to purchase a new van and equipment to support the program, and I'm proud to say we got it. Thanks a lot.
Councilmember Jennings.
Thank you, Mayor. To the rest of the board and the audience, I had the opportunity of being one of 4 judges for this incredible night of listening to 10 nonprofits give their pitch on what they could do to create impact and make a difference in the Sacramento region and make a difference for all the people who they serve. And it was just an incredible evening. And when I left there that night, I made a commitment that I wanted the rest of the council to be able to see what I saw and to be able to see the impact that 10 nonprofits made in the Sacramento region. I only saw 10. There were 50 that started off in the very beginning, but to be able to hear all the coaches and all of the volunteers and the board of directors, everyone associated with SVP, would you please stand real quick? Who are here, everyone? Big round of applause for all of them who make a difference. When I left there, I was very impressed with the ask, the pitch. Being in the nonprofit world, you have to have your elevator speech ready to go at any point in time. I was very impressed with what they did and their ask. And there were many asks that were important for us to be able to make the impact that we want to have. But to hear that since that night in March, that an additional $120,000 has been raised as a result of this training and the efforts of those who presented is just incredible. So I want to thank the executive director, Ms. Bree, for being the executive director, and I want to thank the board of directors, and I want to thank those who came out and presented. With another big round of applause, please. Thank you.
Did you vote for those 3 or just
Sage got me from the very beginning because he told me it didn't exist in Sacramento. 916, we know all the great work that they do and the fact that they were going to be moving into Maple Elementary School. And then the B Street Theater, who can vote against the B Street Theater? So all 3 had my votes.
That's impressive. And I know you played football. Did you even know what fast pitch meant?
Oh man, it was a whole different sport. I don't know why they even invited me.
All right. Thank you all so much. Congratulations very much. And you can feel free to exit if you don't want to hang around.
Thank you much.
Go ahead.
So we're now to our consent calendar. There are items 1 through 12. I have no changes, additions, or corrections to read. We do have one speaker. Item number 12